Hello and welcome, it is I, MrSnake. You, as always, are going to be my amazing subject. Get yourself into a nice, comfortable position. Get ready to completely relax and relax completely. And as you listen to this file, you'll be aware of hearing my voice in different ways. Sometimes you might hear my voice more to this side, and other times you might hear my voice more to this side. And of course, it doesn't really matter which side you hear my voice in. It doesn't matter if you hear my voice on both sides, because your unconscious mind is really always paying attention to the words that I say and the suggestions that I make, which means that your conscious mind can just drift and float away. It can take a back seat. It can watch on like a observer from a third-party perspective, and so you don't really have to do anything right now. There's nothing you need to do except just relax and listen and relax. And the weird thing about hypnosis that I'm sure you're aware of is that there's no right or wrong way indeed to go into trance. There's no right or wrong way to enjoy the experience of going deeper and deeper and deeper into trance, to go further and further and further into the hypnotic state. In fact, it might even be that you enjoy hypnosis so much that you really effectively become powerless to resist this hypnosis, where you become utterly compliant and completely submissive to the suggestions within this trance that work in your best interests. In fact, it might even be the case that your love for the hypnotic experience is already taking you down deeper than you possibly imagine. Do you ever become aware of what it feels like when you're going into trance? Or is it something that just kind of sneaks up on you? And either way is good. Both are perfectly fine. But if you are someone who notices the effects of dropping, have you noticed any so far? Or maybe it just sneaks up on you. And then before you know it, in a few moments, the realization suddenly dawns that you've gone very deep, down into the hypnotic state, feeling so contented, so relaxed. Maybe your unconscious mind secretly thirsts for the concept of me taking control of your mind right now, of you being held utterly captive and under the sway of my words, and enjoying my hypnotic control so deeply. And if that truly is the case, it's okay to just let it go. It's okay to just find yourself sinking, dropping, and falling even deeper than before. As deep as you can possibly go, right here and right now, dropping deeper and further with each breath in and with each breath out. And so whilst you don't actually have to think, you don't actively have to do anything, if you do think about hypnosis and your enjoyment and your experience of hypnosis, historically, are you the type who just drops things and falls instantly? Or are you someone who likes to be coaxed, persuaded, and lulled into the hypnotic state? And so if you think about the hypnotic state and how deep you've gone so far, what would it rate as a number between 1 and 10, with 10 being the most deeply hypnotized? Would you be at a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, or would you be higher than that? And I want you to think about that number almost like it was a number on a dial, and if I control that number and it controlled the depth of your trance, if I just turned that up another notch, one more number higher, you'd go even deeper than before. There you go. Sink, drop, and fall deeper for me as that dial slowly increases, sinking you, dropping you, taking you even deeper and even further into that hypnotic state. Trance isn't the same as sleep. It can easily lead to sleep, but they are different. You still have your awareness. And you might even find that it's a state of heightened, focused awareness, where you can pay attention wherever you need to or wherever you're directed to. So if at any point you need to come out of trance, you'll be able to do so easily and effortlessly, able to take care and deal with whatever it is you need to take care of or deal with. But for now, you can just let your mind float and drift and let those thoughts just fade away. That's it. You could think of those thoughts maybe as like clouds in the sky on a breezy, windy day. They may be there, but before you know it, they're evaporated, moved on. And of course, clouds can always come back later in the sky, but just like your thoughts, they can come back later too. You don't need to think or do anything right now, do you? No. The only thing you really need to do is to listen to the sound of my voice, follow my suggestions, and drop as deep as is right, safe, and appropriate for you right now. And I know you like to drop deep. And I know you love to sink down into hypnosis for me. And we live in a 24/7 world. We have access to the internet 24/7, emails 24/7, our TV stations run all day and all night long. We can be contacted at any time. And so it's good to have a time like this where you can treat yourself to just complete relaxation. Just trance for the sake of trance. Hypnosis just because you enjoy hypnosis. And studies have shown that a good hypnotic trance is equivalent to about a 45-minute nap. So one simple 15-minute trance is worth almost an hour's worth of sleep. Which means that after this session, you're going to feel so amazingly calm, so wonderfully relaxed, freed of any cares or worries or stresses. As tension leaves your body, your mind naturally relaxes along with it. And isn't that good? And you can just nod your head and go a little bit deeper with each nod of your head as you agree with me. There you go. And because you are such a good subject, you actually get more out of trance and more out of these sessions than other people would. Your wonderful talents as a subject really aid you in taking these suggestions on board, allowing the trance to be perhaps more deep and more profound than even a shallow trance would possibly think of being. This is a treat for your mind. This is a way to spoil your own unconscious and conscious minds by just letting go, by just succumbing to what it is you really want. And it might feel nice that I take control and shape your reality and mold it to my will during this session. When you're in these hypnotic sessions with me, you don't have to do any adulting, you don't have to make any decisions. You're completely freed and liberated from the travails of the working week. This is your way to unwind. This is a really healthy way to just allow yourself the chance and the privilege of going into hypnosis. You deserve this. You really do. Your mind and your body are wonderful instruments of living. You are literally made of the stuff of stars. Every day, in every way, you're doing better and better. And that's an old hypnotic cliche, but it holds true. There's no limit to your imagination. There's no limit to your skills as a hypnotic subject. And within hypnosis, so many things are possible. The only limits within hypnosis, really, when you think about it, is your imagination. And imaginations are so rich and vibrant and fulfilling. And within these sessions, you can explore this safely, always with consent and always in ways that benefit you, in ways that you enjoy, in ways that are good and healthy for you, which allows you the freedom to explore your fantasies, which allows you the ability to let your mind take that little mental vacation, to explore whatever it is you wish to explore and enjoy whatever it is you wish to explore within hypnosis. And I know that sometimes people's minds go completely blank and empty during hypnosis. Sometimes people's minds go so blank and so empty, they may not even remember the contents of the file or any specific suggestions during the file, but they always remember that they had a good time listening to the file. It might even become one of your favorites, and repeated listenings will only strengthen these suggestions that you can't even remember. You can forget to remember, remember to forget, forget to remember, or remember to forget. You can remember as much as you want or as little as you need. And of course, in this trance, you don't have to do anything. You don't have to remember. You don't have to listen consciously. Your unconscious mind is always thirsting for my suggestions. It's always enjoying and looking out for the benefits that hypnosis can bring in appropriate situations. So you find yourself now listening to the sound of my voice, going deeper and further than perhaps you've gone in quite a while. And that leads me to a little question for you. Would you like to go even deeper than before? And if your answer is yes, I want you to just nod your head very gently. And notice how with each nod of your head, you go a little bit deeper than before. Doesn't that feel good? To just completely surrender to the hypnotic experience as you listen to my voice move from one ear to the other ear so easily. As easily as you take suggestions, as easy and effortless as you go into transforming. And you're so deep in trance right now, right here, so very deep. And there you go. There's just something so alluring about the prospect of being put into a deep hypnotic state and having my words control your experience completely. I mean, if I mentioned feeling tingles, then naturally you'd be such a good subject that you'd start to feel tingles take place. And if I happen to mention pulses or throbs, why, you'd be practically powerless to resist the suggestion, so that my words become manifest and real. both in your mind and in your body, as you tingle, pulse, and throb with the pleasure of hypnosis, mounting and building and rising deep, deep inside of you. Surrendering to my voice isn't really surrendering when you think about it. When you think about it, you're really just surrendering to your own desire to surrender to my voice. Willing and compliant, compliant and willing. You're such a good subject that your depth of trance can grow with each successive listen to this file. You may remember some of the file. You may remember very little of the file. The only thing you definitely remember is how good you felt and how good you feel after the file. And just imagine how good it would feel if you knew deep inside that each listen to this file took you deeper and further than you've been previously. Isn't that an exciting prospect? And if you start nodding your head, you're going to go even deeper, and you're going to take these suggestions on board even more than before. And that's kind of appealing as well, isn't it? Which means that it's perfectly okay to surrender your will to your desire for hypnosis, to follow my suggestions easily, effortlessly, without thought, without question, without hesitation. My voice can soothe and lull and guide you to where it is that your mind wants to be. And each listen will make it easier to get to that place when it's right, safe, and appropriate to do so. But for now, I'm going to count from 1 up to 5, and when I reach 5, you'll come up out of trance with an amazing sense of personal well-being. 1, beginning to come up out of trance. 2, you may want to wiggle your fingers and toes. 3, you may want to stretch and yawn, freed of any suggestion that's not right, safe, or appropriate for you. 4, your eyes beginning to open as you start to come up out of trance. And 5, eyes fully open, coming up out of trance, feeling so good about yourself. I want to thank you for listening. I want to thank you for your continued support, and I look forward to trancing you again real soon.